Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. Today we jump back into the combi again. In the last episode we got the roof off, got it out of the way, and we cleaned up all the areas around the roof that had all the silicone on there. I'll jump up there and show you in a second, but this episode we're going to get in making the frame, hopefully get it bent up, hopefully it works, it should, and yeah, knock this frame up and then we can start moving on with the rest of the stuff. So let's jump into it. I'll take you up to the roof and show you what we got up to last episode.
Here we go, guys. So I have done a heap of cleaning up, as you saw before, that had all the silicone around here that I have now gotten rid of. I stopped about here because, as you can see, all the rest is still to be done, but I'll do that off camera because it takes quite a while, and then I had to use some acetone on here just to take off the rest of the residue, which worked pretty well. But now I need to make a buck. So a buck is going to be a form that you can then bend something else around. So my plan is to make a wooden buck that follows this curve here, and it'll sit in here. And then what I can do is use the aluminium that I'm going to use to go on the outside of it and bend it to the exact so I can bend it to the exact specifications I need around this edge. And my plan is, I have it over there on the bench, which I'll show you in 2 seconds, but my plan is to do this one and then see how it works against all the other ones, and hopefully it works well. So I have a nice piece of wood. I've drawn this line on it, so I put the piece of wood on here, went from underneath, drew it. I think it looks pretty close. I'm going to hit it with a jigsaw. Actually, I'll take you down there. I've got it drawn out here. I'm going to use this one here that comes along the inside. I was trying to use the straight edges, but I just couldn't get it to quite sit there properly. So I'll use this one. So I get the jigsaw, cut this out. This will be my buck. So just a nice piece of wood that I can then get the aluminium, clamp it on here or hold it on here on some sort, and then I can bend it around and hopefully it'll do what I want. So therefore, if I can do 4 of those, join them together with the right curves and everything else, it should hopefully give my roof just what we need. So this is test 1. So I'll check you on time lapse. We'll do this, and then I'll talk about the aluminium and why I have a bunch of sand here. So we got some 20 by 10 by 2 mil, 3 meters long. So plenty of those. Actually, I got 2 of them because I need more than 3 meters. And here's the buck. So it's pretty close. I don't want to go too crazy on it because I don't know if this is going to work. But my plan is, this is hollow in here. So my plan is to block off one end, tape it up, and fill the whole thing with sand. So the theory behind it, and I've seen it work on round tube, I just don't know if it works on this and with aluminium, but once you fill it and have it all full, you can contort it in any which way you want, because that way it's not going to collapse or anything because the sand's in there. Well, that's the theory behind it, so I'm going to give it a go. So I'll tape up that end, chuck time lapse on of me filling it with sand, which is not going to be too exciting, but it'll be only a little bit. And then I think what we'll do is I'll use a little end, I'll screw it onto this end so it keeps it nice and tight, and then, or even just clamp it on there with those big clamps that I had just before, and then try and curve it around here and see what happens. So let's jump into it and see how this goes. Okay, sorry for the reflection. Sun's beaming through, but oh, come on. She's pretty close. Does need a little bit more bend in it, as you can see. It kind of tapers away on that side, but is not too bad on this side. But also, what I got to do is got to start to bend this. So my thought is, if I make two big C's, so like through here, I might even make this one come as long, and this one as well, just depending on if I can get the bend I need while it's short, if that makes sense. And also I'm thinking, because of the way, you go down there, because of the way the roof is screwed through here, and there's all these little holes and stuff that then tie into this bit of structure, which is part of the roof, I'm thinking of running it like an inch out. So like, let me see if I can do this. So like there, and then that way I can put a little bit of sealant on the, sorry, not a little bit of seal. I can put a little seal on the bottom, but that way it gets me away from, oh, calm down. That way if I run it out here, it'll get me away from these. I can then seal these properly, put a little edge on this piece, all that kind of stuff, and then it'll be a really nice sealing area. Well, not that wide, but like outside here, and it'll give me a nice sealing area onto the roof, rather than me trying to then put a seal on top of all these little screw bits and pieces, seal them and everything else. So I think if I just run it a little bit bigger all the way around, I think we should be perfect. And so now I'm going to try, I'll grab tape measure, I'll measure the distance out here, the distance out here, work it out, and try and bend the next bend in this piece where I need it. If not, I will chop it down the middle, add a bit of length, or take a little bit out to get it perfect, but I want to try and not do that, so that's the plan. So let me grab the tape measure, measure this up, and see how far we need to bend this other one. Okay, before I jump down, I might just get this, and I'll flip it over, and, whoa, calm down, bloody thing. Okay, so flip it over and see how this looks around this. Oh, that looks pretty good. So hopefully that buck will give me the right bend, but as you can see, like, it's gonna really need a big curve going everywhere as it comes around, like especially here and there, to get it to sit to the roof. But I think the sand is kind of doing its job, so therefore I should be able to just like slowly clamp that to the bench, like this, and then slowly pull it down. But yeah, let's pull this off. I'll measure this up and see if I can do this next bend, and then we can start to do the next part. I don't know if this is going to work, but I think I got the measurement between the two bends pretty good. But now I'm going to try and just jig this a little bit and try and get it to turn before I start the next one. Okay guys, we're looking really good. It's taken me 1,000 years, but we're getting close. I have just been fettling the edges and just trying to bend them to get them as close as I can match to the roof. I have now got to the point where I need to bend this one, so I have put the buck back on the bench, and it's not really a buck, is it? It's just a stencil. And so now I need to bend this piece to get in here, and then what I'm going to do is with the other piece there, I'll just bend this little piece here. Makes it nice and easy. I should be able to bend the other piece on there relatively easy as well to finish this off, and then I can get it to do what I need. So I'll do this piece, and then I'll take you up onto the combi, and I'll show you how everything looks. Okay, here we go, everybody. Oh yeah, 2 seconds. Sorry, mouth cam. Here we go. So it's looking pretty good. I just did a few little tweaks to this, but as you can see, got quite a bit of gap under here. So what I have been doing is getting this one pretty close, and so because there's going to be a clamp here or the other side, I think I'm also going to run some aluminium under here just to strengthen it up, because this roof is a little bit wibble wobble. But like because I'm going to build a little bit of an edge off here for the clamp to come down to tie it, whichever side. I'm not sure if it's this side or that side. I think this side is probably nicer, because then it can open up this way. But if it's raining, maybe it coming up this way so that the water goes down over the side of the car rather than towards the opening, which I think is probably going to be the best way. So I will have to run like a little piece of aluminium under here, which will then bulk this up, and then as I tighten it down, it should pull this straight, and then that should clamp on there nicely. But it looks pretty good. So it's not quite ready yet, but it's pretty roughed in. And so now I need to do this piece. So I should be able to just cut a length off the other full length of this and just put a bend in it, and then I'll make it a little bit longer so I can really line it up and get it perfect. But it's really looking good. So I've got it about 35 mil up away from the edge, and then I think 40 mil on this side. A little bit of bad maths, but I think roughly it's probably going to be about the same once it's all moved around and whatnot. But it's looking really good. So I still don't know how I'm going to hinge this yet. I think if I do make that aluminium piece, I'll have it come up and along, and then I can put a hinge on here, or maybe I'll just put a big piano hinge all the way along so that it folds up nicely. But I'll come to that later. Maybe a piano hinge won't be the best idea, but we can work that out. So next up, now this is all pretty close. I still have to fiddle this bit. I'll cut this piece, fill it full of sand, and hopefully bend it up and get it looking nice as well.
Okay guys, that's going to do. I just ran out of time. I need to fill that other piece, fill it up with sand, get it up on the bench and chuck it on that buck stencil-y thing, bend it up. But hopefully next episode we can do that. We can weld it and start getting into this thing, whatever it's called, and get it finished. Thanks guys, I'll talk to you soon. I think that's going to be it guys. I'm just running out of time. I'm not going to be able to bend that piece up and fill it with sand and get it all sorted and film it properly, so it'll wait for the next episode. I will get it on. We can start welding. I'm really looking for, I haven't welded in a little while, get some welding going, and it should be really fun. So I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon.